in 1952 when I was Britain's strongest schoolboy.
Yeah.
I lifted 360 pounds. And also, although I was 10 stone 8, I was one of the biggest schoolboys about. So I wasn't any good at football and so on. So I did wrestling, I did boxing first of all. And I became Southern Area Schoolboy Champion by dint of the fact that they couldn't find anybody to box me. But then I went to this club in which some pro wrestlers had got together in Norbury.
Yeah.
Norbury, London, yeah. And we used to be a builder's garage with 2 lorries in. We used to go down a Thursday and a Sunday, push the lorries out, roll the mats down,
Yeah.
and they used to, teach you and so on. And it was wonderful, especially the showers. The showers consisted of an outside tap with a pipe, and an old sprinkler from a watering can,
Yeah.
with a tarp put round for modesty. That's how it started. And I found at last there was something I could do. I was never scientific. I was always big bully. But I also found in those days there were bigger blokes than me, including the Metropolitan Police Wrestling Champion Jock Ward, who would make about 2 of you and me put together. And anyway, I got a bit cocky, as you do. This was amateur stuff. I got up to near Olympic standard actually.
Yeah.
Indeed, we did have a gold medalist wrestler that everybody's forgotten about called Ken Richmond. Ken Richmond is long gone.
Yeah.
And I believe I'm the last person ever to wrestle him. But we're talking about the difference between sincerity, shall we say,
Yeah.
and make it up as you go along, boy.
Which you mean between true sports and entertainment?
Yeah. Well, you say that, but I used to be friendly with the goalkeeper of Norwich. Norwich City. City. And we were talking about sport one day, and I said something like, "Cool, it's all right for you, but with my lot, there's nothing to it. It's all made up as you go along." And he said to me, and this is from the horse's mouth, a footballer, "Do you think everything is straightforward in our game then?" I've never forgotten that. So I then was afoot in both camps, amateur, or catch as catch can they used to call it in those days. There was 3 disciplines: catch as catch can,
Yeah.
Greco-Roman, and I can't remember the third one. But there were 3 different disciplines, and they were all Olympic sports. And then there were the old pros. And pro wrestling started as a musical turn. There were the comedians and the dancers and so on, and then they'd have the wrestlers. And I got in with this lot, and as I say, I got a bit cocky. So they arranged for me to have a match in public with this guy called Paddy Cloak, or Pat Cloak, Irish guy. Of course, he's been in it for years. And there's a term one uses if people don't like you very much. They say, "I'm going to screw him," and this is just what he did. He screwed me up.
Yeah.
Oh dear! And I thought, "Oh God, I'll never move again, let alone anything else." But somebody had a bit of faith in me, so I started from then. Occasionally, I was put on a bill as a minor down the bottom of under the prices, and there came there people like me. But moving on 100 years, I got into partnership with a chap who also is, they're all dead. I am here, aren't I? Yes.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Or either that, or I'm going into ghost hunting.
I am here. Named Terry Goodrum. Now, Terry Goodrum came from Norwich, Norfolk, and he was a rough stuff, not diamond, more like a bit of black coal, and his wife, and they ran this promotions, and they used to work the little towns like Fakenham, Unstanton, or anywhere where, and we used to take the promotions around. So I put a bit of money in, and we went as partners. But I should have learnt my lesson. And he used to go on as Cowboy Cassidy, or the Undertaker. Used to carry a coffin into the ring. And I used to be, well, I could sometimes do twice in the evening. So I used to be Dr. Death, Masked Mystery Man. Although there were 17 Dr. Deaths up and down the country at that time. I was Ivan Mokovich, the Russian heavyweight champion. I was Ian Trelawney, the Cornish heavyweight champion. And Professor Adi Vosser, karate expert. And we used to, I say we used to work the little towns. You can get hundreds and thousands of people in, but you've got a crowd and so on. And it's something I just kept up. I was doing a theological degree at the time, but I liked me a bit of rough on the side, as it were. When I did my national service, I was posted to Germany, and I got in cahoots with a fairground guy, and there they had not boxing booths, they had a wrestling booth. And we eventually came upon the common language, money. And my thing was to turn up in my army uniform and throw a challenge out to one of these blokes, and then it was so realistic, not to us but to those outside, and the dolly birds I had swarming around me afterwards, nobody's business. Fight them off. Look at me now. And that continued while I was in Germany. Do you know, I can't. Oh, he was Wolfgang somebody. All the Germans are called Wolfgang anyway. And then I came back and got back into the minor celebrities. In those days, this is how it worked. You went on and you did your show. And then, if you were lucky, when all the patrons had gone home, the promoter would open the door of the dressing room, throwing a bundle on and say, "There you are, lad," throwing in a bundle of envelopes, and everyone had a fiver in each scarf. And of course, television caught on, and little promotions never found any benefit in television, except that people were interested. Well, one thing we used to do the prisons. We used to go around the prisons.
Oh, yeah.
We used to go around the prisons and entertain the men's prisons, I must say. And it was good. They were good. You used to get them clapping out. Ginger's got the needle. Ginger's got the needle. And things like that. Because Terry Goodwin was Ginger. And strangely enough, I spoke to him just before he died. And he had a motorcycle business in Wyndham, in Norfolk. And he used to call me the vicar. It was always vicar, and his wife Margaret called me the vicar. And we had, one thing, we had the only female referee ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for something, we were always trying to do something different, but of course, the first thing people say, is it all fixed? Well, you can't say it's fixed because accidents happen. I've got the scars to prove that. But you can say it is slightly arranged. Slightly arranged. The last time I ever appeared in public was at Buckingham Town Hall in Buckinghamshire, which just also happened to have a big Wurlitzer organ in there.
Oh, yeah.
So not only did I wrestle that night, but I gave them a tune on the organ in between. They enjoyed that. But that was a night that things turned sour. My my so-called partner really duffed me up, knocked me senseless, and I was carted off to hospital, and that was the last I ever saw him for many years.
Yeah.
Of course he took all the money and so on and so forth. And I thought, now boy, you're in your 40s, I think it's time for you to hang your booties up. So I did, so I stopped, but I've kept in touch with one or two people over the years. Most of them are dead. People you may never have heard of. There was George Andrews, who was a part-time burglar. There was a chap called Spencer Churchill.
Yeah.
And the first time he ever went on to the mat, they put him on with me for a gentle workout, and I broke his arm. These accidents happen to me. I dropped a something great heavy barbell on somebody else's foot. Demonstrate. Oh dear. And there was a guy called Lucky Lamb, who was completely misnamed, because as soon as he got on the mat or got him in the ring, the first thing that happened was his nose bled.
Oh.
Then there were strange things happened, like one night, I hope you're not squeamish, one guy, you know what a head scissors is?
Yeah.
One guy got this guy in the head scissors and then had an attack of diarrhea.
Oh.
It just happens. And people say, well, they're sitting up there, they're arguing, that sort of thing. We used to go to the centre of the ring and argue. We used to say, what's it? Well, you got my jelly babies. Well, I wanted the red ones and he wants the black ones. And you make, I mean, they can't hear what you say, but it looks really, really fierce of me.
Yeah.
And everybody's got, these days, with the American, I wouldn't do what the Americans do. They're mad, they're crazy. But everyone's a champion, television champion,
Yeah.
X-System champion, this champion, this, that champion. And I knew Giant Haystacks when he was a wheat sheaf. We had big Docker Don Stedman, oh, big guy. Honey Boy Zimba, black, very good black guy.
Yeah.
And Blondie somebody, I can't remember. I'm 78, my brain is going. Blondie somebody who was, leave me alone, don't touch me. And there we are, that's it in a nutshell. I had quite a few years. I'm suffering now. My joints are all damaged, and I can't walk far. Can't do much with my arms anymore, and so on and so forth. And you're certainly welcome to come and have a punch up, because I can't defend myself. Now is the time. Now is the time to get me up a dark alley. Oh, actually, no, don't do that, because that happened to me when I first came, a few years ago, when I first came to Dover Court, when and two blokes came at me with a knife one night.
Yeah.
And two young blokes had a knife. Right outside where I used to live,
Yeah.
Crooked Elms. And I'm staring like, And he said, "You don't want to try that old trick, mate. There's nobody standing behind us." I said, "No." I said, "I know there isn't." I said, "I'm just looking at the patch of ground that I'm going to flatten you to if you don't clear it off." And they ran. They ran. Can't believe it. But there we are. So, what else you want to know?
Well, how long did you spend with the? Because you said you did.
From the age of 16 onwards, 15 onwards,
Mm.
15 onwards till I was in my 40s.
Yeah.
And so I met quite a few famous people, that, or names that they knew, like Primo Carnera, who was the heavyweight champion, boxing champion of the world.
Yeah.
And he was hopeless. They called him the Ambling Out because he was only about 18 inches taller than you. and what are you, 6'6"?
No, I'm 6'2".
6'2", well, he usually was. And he was hopeless, and he turned to wrestling. Even the great Joe Louis,
Oh yeah.
he didn't wrestle, but he became a referee in his latter days when he was broke. And of course, the English ones that everybody knows was Mick McMahon. Oh yeah, I must tell you about this. Mick McManus
Yeah.
and who was he always on? Who there was it? I can't remember. But anyway, we used to do naughty things because he was Mick McManus, and we used to have posters up and put Nick McManus. I can't think of the other bloke's name though. They're always having a go at each other, especially on football cup day. They had a traditional fight. How silly! It's gone. Oh, I know. Right. Okay. Jackie Pallow.
Oh yeah.
But on our posters we had Jackie Fallow. just drew people in.
Mm.
And there was those, as I say, there was Quango, who'd been a ballet dancer, black guy,
Yeah.
ballet dancer, marvellous. The daddy of them all was a guy called Bert Azarati. Little fat man, I mean, really fat, podgy, like a pink Easter egg. That's the only way I can describe it. And he was the first person who claimed to be the heavyweight champion of Britain.
Yeah.
And that's when things began to broaden out, and when they first began to talk about money. There's a lot of money in this. We make a lot of money. Because I never made a lot of money. And the people I worked with never made a lot of money. But there's some strange things happened to us, as I say. There's my old there's Terry there with his coffin,
Yeah.
walking in the room with his coffin. And somebody spotted it, and you got a letter in German, from Germany, saying, "Dear Herr Undertaker, we wish you to come over and see us." Inviting him to go, you know. And I think I said Stan Skipansky. Yes, he used to make the coffins. Anyway, as I was saying, what else would you like to know?
That's about it. Unless you did anything else on the fairgrounds.
No,
You wasn't tempted to join the circus.
no. Oh, it's funny you should say that. I've always wanted to be a clown. I've got the size feet, you see.
Yeah.
Got the right size feet. No. I didn't run away to join the circus or anything like that. Like you.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Like you. Well, there we are. That's a short history. Just one thing. Some years later, might be of interest to you, I met up with Jeff Capes.
Oh yeah.
Jeff Capes was Britain's strongest man.
Yeah.
I also met Ireland's strongest man. I'll tell you about that later. But Jeff Capes' wife, there was an auction together in Spalding, and people kept calling, or she kept calling, Lewis, Lewis, and I immediately went over because that's my name, Lewis, and she said, no, I'm calling my son. And there was this great big hulk of Jeff Capes' son, and that's how I met Jeff Capes. But I told him a little bit about my history, and he said, I've got you in a book at home. He said, I'll find it out, but I've never seen this book.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Irish guy, about twice as big as me, who was Ireland's strongest man, runs a bistro in a place called Virginia in County Cavan, Southern Ireland. Went in there, got talking to him, and we shared experiences. I can't go in there because every time I go in there, he refuses to take my money. There we are. End of.
Thank you very much, Lou.
Right, that'd be £1.
£1. Well, actually, I was told to give you this £5 note.
Oh, that's £5. Oh.
Yeah. Apparently they owed you that in the
Wow.
60s.
£5.
£5 note. Yeah.
Yeah, £5.
Thank you very much, Lou.
That's £1.